How's everybody doing this evening? First off, I'd like to say congratulations to all the athletic and academic student athletes in here. It's a privilege for me to be here. Like Nigel gave me that short introduction, but I know y'all looking at me like, who is this cat standing up here in front of us? Like Nigel said, we went to high school together. We are brothers. I met him my freshman year, and we've been rolling together ever since. I always start off by saying we're giving, we're pretty much, everybody's pretty much given the same opportunities and choices in this world. We all lay down, we all get up the same way. And I give Nigel a lot of credit because I've had a lot of opportunities, I've had a lot of choices, and some of those choices might not have been that great, and I might have not got some of those opportunities, but I had somebody who had my back, and Nigel has always been that guy. Quick background about myself. I grew up in Kennedy Heights, right down the road. I played Little League football right down the road for the Little Red Machine, right here in Roseline. I fell in love with the game of football when I was 7 years old. And I didn't know it would take me where it's taking me today. Like I said, I started playing when I was 7. Went to Purcell Maryland High School right down the road here in Evanston. I didn't realize that I was going to have an opportunity to play college football. I knew I was pretty good, but I had some choices to make. I was a pretty good student. But I didn't feel like at that moment I was good enough to play top level football. So one of my choices was when I was going the summer of my senior year. I didn't know what I was going to be able to do. I didn't know if I'd be eligible to play because of grades. We had the SAT, and I needed to score high enough to be academically eligible. So I wanted to have options. So what I did, I ended up going down to my Naval and Army recruiter, and Nigel sit up here and giggle about it because he'd be like, "Oh, he crazy." He was going. I knew he was the whole time, but I did it. I wanted to have options, so I went down to my Naval recruiter, and I thought it was pretty cool when he showed me the video about being a Naval SEAL, and then I really found out about how it was to be a Naval SEAL, to be in the military, and I said, "The hell with this! I'm gonna go study." So coming out of high school, I went to Penn State, and this was a opportunity that I had because my first 3 years, I was never a starter. I was always backing up. And what happened was I was what they call inconsistent. So I was a good athlete. I made big plays, but because I would make a play and then make a mistake, and then I would get down on myself. And I had to grow and mature into my role. So my senior year, I became a starter, and that was the opportunity I had. So I needed to take full advantage of it. And I was lucky enough to have a pretty good season. I got drafted in 1996 by the Houston Oilers. I know a lot of y'all don't know that team anymore. They're the Tennessee Titans now. I made that trip to Nashville, Tennessee with the Titans. And I was lucky enough in 2000 to play in the Super Bowl. So after I retired from football, I didn't know what else I needed to do. I didn't have many choices because I didn't think about anything other than playing that game. So I got some opportunities, and a friend of mine, he talked about officiating, and so I didn't know anything about officiating. I didn't talk to officials. So what I did, I ended up figuring out how to become official, and when I did, it was a thing that I fell in love with the game. All of you guys who play sports, there's something within us when we start to play the game. We have a passion for it, and we do things that we normally wouldn't do because we make sacrifices for what we love. So what I started doing, I got into officiating. I didn't know it would take me as far as it did, but I just fell in love with it, and I wanted to learn more about the game of football, and I wanted to learn more about officiating. So once I started officiating, I started moving up the ranks. I was getting opportunities because I was meeting people. And a lot of times, we have choices, right? So we can choose whether to do something or not. When I was coming up in the officiating ranks, it wasn't all easy. Like, I'm going through this story kind of fast, but my path was difficult. I started off just working high school ball in this area, and just breaking through, because it's not easy to just break into something that you don't know anything about. Nobody knows you. But I took advantage of some of these opportunities by just using what I had, like being able to communicate with some of the more older officials, and just using my background in Cincinnati as a football player to get in with some of these guys. So I used that, and when I took that to my advantage, I started meeting more and more people, and I started traveling. So I started traveling to these places and where we would have camps and clinics and things like that, and I started meeting people, and I started taking advantage of these opportunities of meeting people. And when I met these people, they kind of pushed me along, and they helped me in my growth of becoming an official. So I got into college. I started working college ball. I fell in love with that. It became a passion of mine. And when you have something that's a passion, it's never really work. So I just enjoyed it. I spent a lot of time away from my family. I had a young family at the time, but I just knew I wanted it. So I was lucky enough to move up the ranks. I started off in Division III football, moved up to 2, and then finally I got an opportunity to work in Division I, in the American Athletic Conference. That's a conference where, like, UC was in it before they moved to the Big 12. So I worked in that for a couple years, and I got another opportunity because of some of the relationships I made to interview with the NFL. So I started working in the NFL in 2019. Once again, it was my passion. I had an opportunity to do it. I was falling in love with officiating. It was a good time. I was meeting great people, and then I was lucky enough to get on some good crews. I work with a lot of people. It's a dream come true to be able to do what I do, and I work hard at it. So this past season, I was able to work a Super Bowl. So in the little pamphlet, you'll see a picture of me. It's me in my Tennessee Titan uniform and my officiating uniform. I made a little history. I was the first to ever play in and officiate a Super Bowl, and that means a lot to me. Thank you. Well, this is what I talk about. Many people don't get these opportunities, but it's not like you can't work to achieve something like that. You just got to set your mind and be passionate, because, like I said, if you're passionate about something, it's never work. Like, you basketball players go out every day and practice every day, and nobody complains about going to practice. But I know everybody wants to play a game, but because you're passionate with basketball, you don't mind going to practice every day. You don't mind getting on taking them long van rides to wherever you go. Same thing with football. Like, you go play football in the summertime, it's hot as fish grease out there, but you don't mind being out in that heat because it's something you love to do. Cheerleaders, volleyball players, it's the same thing. Because you have a passion for something, it's never like work. So I guess my words to you this evening is just remember and try to find your passion, because if you can find your passion, nobody can tell you that you can't do it. You can find a way, because like I said, you can't play sports forever. Like, Father Time is undefeated. Right now, I knew I couldn't play football for 20 years. I can't even officiate for 20 years, but it's my passion, and I didn't want anybody to say that I couldn't do it. So what I say to you is just keep working hard, follow your heart, follow your gut, and follow your path, and hopefully one day you'll be up here talking to a class and congratulate them on their achievements for the season. Thank you, and have a good evening.